Your competition has access to free experts you probably don't even know exist, and it's costing you and your business thousands every single month. I'm going to show you what these free types of experts are and why most trades companies don't have access to them, and exactly what changes in your business when you do have access to them. So most contractors, I'm sure we all agree, brilliant at executing their chosen trade. That's why they set up a business in that field. That's not the problem here. The problem is the business side, the systems. Systems for HR, systems for recruitment, systems for tendering, systems for bookkeeping. You're probably just doing your best to pull it all together in your spare time when you're not firefighting, but it's an absolute nightmare trying to be an expert in all of these areas while trying to run a business, while dealing with staff, while trying to raise a family, while trying to have hobbies, while trying to go to the gym, everything else we have to juggle, right? But when you have a business to run at the same time, this can feel really overwhelming. Meanwhile, your competition, they've got proper professionals around them, and they're helping them implement systems that are winning them work, that you should be winning, and they're taking the staff that you should be hiring, and you don't even realize that you're falling behind because you're too busy doing everything, being a busy fool, putting out fires, dealing with clients, dealing with your staff, trying to run the business, as I say, juggling family life, and just hoping there's enough cash in the bank at the end of the month to keep everyone happy, including yourself. So this is how you solve it, guys. Expert number one is a high-end bookkeeper. And I don't mean your mate's wife who does a bit of zero on the side when she gets the chance, when she's finished work in an evening. I mean someone who actually understands how trades and contracting businesses work from a numbers point of view. And without a bookkeeping expert, you're flying completely blind. You're doing jobs that are losing you money and you have no idea until it's too late. Your overheads, this is a big one, your overheads are creeping up, but nobody's spotting it because you're not tracking them on a regular basis. Then your accountant calls you out the blue and tells you you've got a 15 grand HMRC liability that you had no idea was coming because you hadn't budgeted for it. Bookkeeping can prevent those nasty surprises as well. I see contractors and trades business owners checking their bank balance, sometimes up 10 times a day on the mobile app, wondering if they have enough cash in the bank just to make payroll. And guys, that's no way to run a business, right? You set up a business to improve your quality of life, not to be stressed all the time. You want to be the master of your own destiny, not be a slave to your own bank balance and a slave to your clients, hoping they pay you on time and spending 80% of your time stressing about money. That is not how to run a business. With a proper bookkeeper, you can see exactly what jobs make you money. You can spot problems before they become disasters, and you can make decisions based on actual data every week instead of just guessing and hoping everything works out from a financial standpoint, hoping there's enough money in the bank for everything to work out this month and then doing it all again next month. And that's why all of my mentees have access to our in-house bookkeeper from day one. You cannot fix what you cannot see. And this is a super quick fix for those of you who perhaps are flying blind right now. Expert number two, this one can be an absolute game changer and can save you a lot of time, stress and money. And that's an HR and recruitment specialist. Most contracts companies and trades companies have no idea how to hire properly, no idea how to onboard people, or actually deal with staff issues as and when they come up. And guys, as we know as business owners, they always come up. You hire the wrong person because you've got no proper interview process. 3 months later, you're stuck with someone who can't perform the job you actually hired them to do in the first place to a high standard. Your good staff end up leaving because they're fed up of picking up the slack from your wrong hires. And when you try to take legal action, you don't have the correct documentation and systems you need to protect you. So what usually happens is business owners end up Googling employment law late at night and getting a dodgy ChatGPT answer, your brain's legally sound, and hoping that you'll get yourself out of this particular pickle. Now, I've been there myself. That's how I've learned all this the hard way. That's why I now surround myself and make sure my mentees are surrounded by experts. It's a horrible position to be in when all of it could be prevented in the first place with proper systems. And with proper HR support, you get job descriptions that attract the right people, contracts that protect you, and someone you can just pick up the phone to when you've got a situation that perhaps you don't know how to handle or is new. This is why all of my mentees have regular access to our in-house HR and recruitment expert, instead of just winging it and praying nothing goes wrong that could potentially cost you tens of thousands of pounds in legal fees, in tribunal costs, in wasted time, in stress, or all of the above. Expert number 3 you need for your business, huge, absolutely huge, a tender consultant. If you are going after commercial work, this is absolutely vital. I speak to people that tender all the time and they can spend 20 hours on a single tender application. And they either never hear back or they lose it to someone who undercut them by a couple of £100, or it's a race to the bottom and they do win it, but they don't make any money on it. And here's the part that nobody tells you. Not every tender is a real opportunity for your business. Some are just designed to get 3 or 4 quotes so the client can beat up their existing contractor on price. They've already decided who's going to get the work. You're just there to make up the numbers, and they're using you to push the price down with their chosen contractor. What a waste of time. Now, what a proper tender consultant knows is exactly what the procurement teams score you on, which tenders are actually worth going for, and which ones, this is the important bit, which ones to walk away from early enough so you don't waste time bidding on work you're never going to win. And again, that's why every one of my mentees has access to our high-level tender consultant who can sense check your applications before you actually submit them and save you a fortune by avoiding underpricing jobs that, even if you win, might cost you money, and can save you days of your time back by making sure you actually only go after the right opportunities in the first place. Quick one before we carry on, guys. Jamie here. I've put something together called the 52-week contractor checklist. 1 task per week for a whole year. And every task will actually move the needle forward for you and your trades business. It covers cash flow, pricing, lead gen, getting your time back. Everything's covered in there. And more importantly, it's completely free. The link's in the description below in this video. Grab it now, stick it on the wall, start working your way through it, and I'm sure you'll get huge amounts of value from it. Right, back to the video. So, question. Why do most trades companies not have these free experts on hand? And it usually comes down to cost, in full transparency. If you hired a bookkeeper, an HR expert, and a tender consultant individually, you're going to spend a fortune, and your business probably isn't in a position to afford that as it stands. So most contractors and trades companies doing under 3 million in revenue, they can't justify that expense, and rightly so. I agree with that. That's 3 very high-level experts that will cost money. And you do not know who to trust as well. Plenty of people call themselves experts, but have never actually worked with a trades business in their life. They don't understand your industry. They don't understand the way contracting actually works. But when you have the right people around you who do understand the industry, who do know how it works in your space, and you get the right people around you, that becomes a superpower, an unfair advantage on all of your competition that don't have that. You make decisions faster, you avoid expensive mistakes, and you can move quicker than your competition because you've got the information you need. And that is the difference between just surviving and building a business that actually gives you freedom because it makes money, it's got systems in place, and you've got support when you need it. And lifestyle is really important, guys. It's important you get the business you've always dreamed of. That's why we set up the business. So you need to be the master of your own destiny. Instead of being bossed around by your own business, you need to be pricing jobs for profit. You need to be winning the right tenders. You need your numbers absolutely clean, and understandable so you can use the data accordingly to make the right decisions. And you need the right policies, handbooks, and systems around you to protect you from the expensive headaches from an HR point of view. That's the end of this video, guys. If you got value from it, please give it a like, please subscribe, share it to anyone that might be suffering from similar problems covered in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.